The divine source of the universe guides my life and all my finances. All is well, all is well.
Good evening. We are excited that you are joining us for our second year of Ignite Your Soul Connection. My name is Iccha Devi Ra, and I will be your facilitator for the next days as we discuss relationships in the age of Aquarius. Before we get started with tonight's conversation, let me take a moment to acknowledge Master Force Incorporated and Master Force Academy for gifting this amazing program to us based on their commitment to inspire spiritual evolution and expanded consciousness in our community. Thank you for your generosity and for your encouragement. Good evening. I'm so excited. We are on day 3 of the Ignite Your Soul Connection Conference, again talking about these relationships in the age of Aquarius. Today's topic is the couple in the age of Aquarius. I'm uber excited to have Timothy and Jiquay Glenn with us, and we're going to talk and really get into the meat of what the couple looks like in the age of Aquarius. But before we get started, why don't I read you a little bit about Timothy and Jiquay. Timothy and Jiquay Glenn founded Leadership Institute for Transformation and Empowerment, LITE, in 2001. LITE is the result of their combined vision to provide a place for people of all origins, backgrounds, beliefs, and schools of thought to come together without judgment in an environment of unconditional love. They work diligently to empower people to gain a deeper understanding of their humanity and divinity. They created Living Luminaries, a volunteer organization that goes out into the community and it assists wherever needed. In the words of Timothy and Jiquay, our deepest desire and purpose for being on this planet is to offer sacred service through the greatest source of power, unconditional love. This very thing provides a backdrop for doing what they love, facilitating the Language of Life workshops to help as they travel their unique path to their destiny. Timothy and Jiquay offer spiritual mentorship and personal growth workshops within the cities of Jackson and Nashville, Tennessee. Together, the Glenns provide these mentorships to those who are brave enough to sit under their tutelage. This journey is not for the faint at heart, and the Glenns will prepare all who would embark upon the quest to see the treasure that is within each and every one of us. The Glenns' years of practical wisdom will help those who wish to change their lives in a profound way. The Glenns offer the world sanity in the midst of insanity and bring a sobering effect to the drunkenness of self-hatred that our world suffers from collectively. For more information about Timothy and Jiquay and their institution, and their organization, which again is called LIGHT, the Leadership Institute for Transformation and Empowerment, there will be a link posted up on our page so that you can find them. And what it is a relevant ministry. I had to put that together. I'm looking, I'm like, wait a minute, www.irrelevantministry.com. Find them on Facebook under Leadership Institute for Transformation and Empowerment, or follow them on Twitter at ARLISE. Wow, you guys are awesome. Thank you, Timothy, and thank you, Jiquay, for joining us tonight. I am so excited to talk to you guys.
Thank you for the invitation.
Exactly. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I want to make a note and let everybody know that we are utilizing technology to its fullest tonight. Timothy and Jiquay are in Tennessee. Your host, Iccha Devi Ra, is in the Dirty Jers, New Jersey. Our producer is in Chicago, and our mentor is in the background. So we're all around, and we're utilizing this technology so that we can come together in cyberspace and have an amazing time talking about this topic. And that's so typical of the age of Aquarius, utilizing this movement and this technology to do this great work that we're doing. So, Timothy and Jiquay, my goodness, I want to start off maybe asking you if you could each just kind of chime in on when did you start your spiritual journey. Let's hear a little bit about that so we can kind of get to know you guys.
Okay. Do you mean as a couple or individually?
Individually, please, and then whatever you want to share as a couple, because it's all about couples.
Yeah, I got you. Well, I guess I'll go first. Mine probably began at 15, and that's when I really began to start speaking in public in churches. My career began in the church. It began in religion and kind of transcended that. So at that age, I just began to have dreams, visions, angel visitations, and I could just feel a pull to go beyond what I've been taught. There was a depth in my soul just to walk a path that I had no mentor at that time to kind of show me how to do that, because everybody around me was kind of wrapped up in religion. So I had to just venture out, go to libraries, read the books I was told not to read, watch things I was told not to watch. But I can remember picking up The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, and that pretty much changed my life probably in 1994.
Wow.
And from that, I just began to grow with it. I just began to walk it out. And I was a pastor for years. I started out in the church. And as a matter of fact, when the day after me and Jiquay got married, we started this. We started Light the day after. And it started as a church, and that church's name was Destiny's Place. And so it pretty much transcended from that. And after getting kicked out of a bunch of churches, me and my wife, we just decided pretty much just to start our own thing. So with that being said, it's been an awesome journey for me, because Jiquay has really opened my portals up to a lot more information than I was privy to on my own. So I guess as a couple, the gateways were just open up to higher dimensions and preparing us for this age coming, because I didn't know anything about this at that time. Only thing I knew that Jesus could come back at any time. And we were pretty much waiting on that. But once we got tired of waiting, we decided pretty much to become the Christ instead of seeking Christ. So that really began the path for us to start Light. And I'm just going to let her pick it up from there. Sweetheart.
Please, Jiquay.
Anything to say, sweetie?
Well, I was in the church all of my life as well. Mm-hmm. And when I met him, like he said, we met in the church. And it was me and a group of my friends. And we were known as the Trinity. That's how we met him, because we did everything together, two friends of ours. And when I met him, we began to answer more questions in the church and question things, and to the point where they sat us down or they fired us from our positions. We were causing too much problems. And then when we got with him, it got worse with the questions. And we just thought outside of the box. So, we left that particular church and we went to another one, still looking, still searching, and then they kicked us out because we didn't fit the mold. So after that, we was like, let's just get married, and we're going to start our own. And we started our own. We started as a church with a group of people along there had questions just like we did. So we evolved from the church of Destiny's Place until Light. And it was an interesting process, because Timothy actually started bringing these concepts of spirituality to me, and I thought he had lost his mind. And I resisted it a lot. And, I read You Can Heal Your Life. And when I read that book, I said, okay, he just might know what he's talking about here. Let me see about this. And then, I started on my own path, on my own journey, and here we are today.
Wow. That is so powerful. I want to thank you all, first of all, for really coming in and sharing from a very heart-centered place, because I can really feel it. And I know that everyone that is listening is really going to be able to feel the energy of what you're sharing. That is very powerful. I do want to take this moment to remind our callers that this Masterforce teleconference is an interactive teleconference. So please, if you're listening on the line and you have a question or comment, make sure that you press the number 1 and we can get to your question or to your comment. So I just wanted to put that out there. And I want to also recap 2 books that you mentioned that are really, really awesome is Science of Mind and You Can Heal Your Life. These are some of the books that are utilized in some of the Masterforce work as well. So it's really powerful, and I think that as people listen to this series and listen as we illuminate these different topics, they'll be able to connect with these resources that you have mentioned. So thank you for sharing that portion as well. Now, let me ask you, do you consider yourself, Timothy, on a path to ascend?
Most def. And, you know, it was a path that I chose before arriving to this third dimension. It was a path that I was destined for, and it was a path that I believe Jiquay was destined for. I believe we agreed upon this path, made the arrangements before this incarnation, and we're just walking out the path. The problem, you know, with the ascension thing, and you're talking about couples, most couples marry their pain instead of marrying, you know, for love and ascension. And when you do that, you just run into a brick wall if you're not able to grow together. Because when we started this thing off, let me tell you, it wasn't that spiritual, was it, honey? I mean, you're talking about serious fights. I mean, to probably a very violent nature between the both of us, a lot of hostility, and we didn't know what was going on. But we were ascending even then. You know, our purpose had aligned for us to grow, and a lot of couples are not able to grow with that.
Yes.
You know, in America, like I said, we have probably the highest divorce rate in any country, and that's because we marry our pain, and we don't know it. So,
oh,
you know,
my God.
If we can...
Timothy, I just want to stop you just one moment. I'm not going to stop you again, I hope.
No.
But,
go ahead.
But what you said is really potent. And I just want to make sure that everyone heard specifically what you said, that generally as a rule, unless we are conscious and do otherwise, then we marry our pain.
There you go.
That is so powerful. And it's important because I think when people hear this, one of the things that Musha Rasud has shared with us is that we're opening up a conversation. If I've been experiencing something for quite some time and I just don't have a schema or a frame for it, and then I hear these words and it directly resonates with what I'm going through, a lot of times even just those words can begin the process for me of healing and releasing and doing the work that I'm here to do. So that's why I really wanted to say that again, because as a woman who has been married several times, that would be me, I recognize this now in hindsight. I really do.
Exactly. It's just something that we're going to have to work on. That's why anybody who comes to us and they say, you know, I'm ready for a relationship, we have to make sure that's not the ego's distraction from being lonely. Because, like I say, you don't just marry who you love, you marry who you are. And if you're confused and distracted, you'll find somebody to mirror that. He or she will show up without a doubt. And if you're not doing the inner work, preparing yourself to meet your ascended self instead of the pain body, then it's going to lead to a line of trouble. Sweetie, you want to just chime in on that?
You just said it all right there.
And it's funny because most people get mad at us because we're shining a light on a depth that they rarely visit, the soul and their soul's purpose, their soul's calling. So now she's more aggressive than I am. I am the nice guy. But when she gets a hold of you, let me tell you, she is no joke, and she doesn't play. You know, so
I'm going to be good on this call.
No, you're not. You do one or two things when you come to us. You either prepare yourself to ascend or you go back to what you know.
Exactly.
Jiquay, I want to ask you, please do not be good on this call. Please keep it 100.
No, don't even play that.
As we say, you know, keep it 100. Please, because we need the truth. Come on. We've been putting around for for so long and I judged that that's what has caused us to come into a lot of different areas where we are. Get this real.